समूह का नेतृत्व कोई कर रहा है तो वो भारत देश कर रहा है.
Shifting focus then, ahead of the 2023 Karnataka elections, infighting still continues between the ex-state Chief Minister Siddaramaiah and Karnataka Congress Chief D.K. Shivkumar, who will become the Chief Ministerial candidate for the Grand Old Party. Yesterday, on the occasion of Kanakdasa Jayanti, Siddaramaiah cut a cake with his face on it. But the row is over of what was written on the cake. It said, next Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. This comes days after the ex-minister's battle for Siddaramaiah to become the next Chief Minister. Meanwhile, Karnataka Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai has also waded into the debate, saying what to cut and what not to cut is the Congress's choice. I think D.K. Shivkumar should take note.
It is left to them their choice. What to cut, what not to cut. And one thing I wish Siddaramaiah his birthday and a long life and healthy life. As far as cake cutting and what is written on that, I think D.K. Shivkumar should notice that, not me. It is nothing to do with me, my party and the people.
Let me also now bring in my colleague Ritu, who's been tracking these developments for us. Ritu, firstly, I want to understand, are we seeing a reaction from D.K. Shivkumar?
So far, there hasn't been any kind of reaction coming in from the KPCC chief D.K. Shivkumar, but yes, we had seen him earlier also coming out strongly while that he had tried maintaining the silence for a long time. It suddenly had come out earlier as well. So in similar manner, it is expected again this time too, because this was not again a small event that we saw in the Mysuru, but the former Chief Minister Siddaramaiah going on to cut this huge cake, which says that he's going to be the next Karnataka's Chief Minister, has now actually erected a row in the Karnataka. But yes, on the other hand, it's the BJP who is in fact seen this as a benefit on their side, because the infighting within the Congress party is only escalating ahead of the assembly elections. But yes, the Congress High Command had often told both D.K. Shivkumar as well as Siddaramaiah to refrain from giving any kind of a statement on the CM face and also not to be involved in such kind of an activities. But yes, now again that the former Chief Minister has violated one of the kind of a rule that the higher command had put forth, we'll have to see now how the D.K. Shivkumar will be reacting to it, and also the higher command too.
Sure, but Ritu, the larger question still is, for how long can the Congress delay a decision? Because you have the elections in 2023, this infighting is not new, the rivalry is also known. So isn't this infighting going to cost the Congress if they further delay the decision?
Well, that's the whole point. You see there, the Chief Minister of Karnataka also going on to say that it should be the D.K. Shivkumar who should be commenting on this. So that clearly also states that how this whole controversy is somewhere benefiting the BJP party in the Karnataka, because though the Congress leaders might be coming out to say that they're going to fight the upcoming assembly election in a collective leadership, but that's not a reality on the ground, point number one. But point number two is also that it's the time where the former Chief Minister Siddaramaiah is trying to look forward to a safer seat to contest for the upcoming assembly election, and in all that, still the former Chief Minister going on to celebrate and being involved into such kind of an activities also clearly states that the Siddaramaiah somewhere has that confidence that the higher command is going to look up to him again. But meanwhile, D.K. Shivkumar had also tried to put forth his best during the Bharat Jodo Yatra as well to show the higher command that he has all the caliber, and also a person every time that the Congress party had been into the crisis, he has been the one who has took out the Congress party from that danger zone, just not in the Karnataka but also in the other states. So that is again one of the reasons that can be seen that how the D.K. Shivkumar is trying to show this all to the higher command to give him the importance over it. But still we'll have to see how now the higher command is going to react to this whole controversy.
Absolutely. We'll still await that official reaction. Ritu, we'll leave that conversation there. Thanks a lot for getting us all those details. With that, it's a wrap from my side. Nation at 5 is up next.
Good evening, hello and welcome. You're watching CNN News 18. This is Nation at 5 with me, Poonam Burde. There's lots lined up for you on this edition, but let's get you started with breaking news coming in. News coming in from the national capital now, where ABVP has accused left student groups of vandalism at JNU. They've accused them of writing abuses on the walls of JNU in the School of International Studies in a bid to intimidate professors. Abuses have been spray painted on the walls is the allegation that the ABVP, which is a BJP-led student group, is now claiming. The allegation is made against the Left Student Union, which is the student union of the JNU. Akash, my colleague, now joins us for more on this. Akash, we can see the abuses, the rants that have been spray painted on the walls of this particular campus in JNU. Why is it that the ABVP is pointing in the direction of the left parties?
So, Poonam, first of all, these videos and these images are coming out of JNU, and this is not the first time when such incident has been reported from the JNU campus. And in fact, we have been given to understand that this is from the School of International Studies, and this time the allegation is that the students targeted the chambers of professors. Now, why they are saying that, left students are behind it? Because of the
Right, sorry to interrupt you there, Akash. Rohit Kumar, president of the ABVP, is now with us on the phone line. Thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. Why exactly are you blaming the Left Student Union for this? Why do you think it's them who've done this?
Yes, good afternoon. First of all, because see a pattern in this. You can see the same anti-Kashmir signs in School of Social Sciences which uses vandalism.
We'll try and reconnect with Rohit Kumar of the ABVP there. We have some audio issues with him. But going back to my colleague Akash Sharma, who was getting us the details of what exactly has transpired. Like you were pointing out, there seems to be a pattern. This is not the first time, Akash, that this has happened. But as far as this particular instance is concerned, do we have a timeline? When did these spray-painted graffiti actually come up?
No, unfortunately not, Poonam, and in fact, we don't have any sort of confirmation as to when did this appear. But, as of now, the allegation is that chambers of the professors have been, targeted this time, and this was to intimidate them. Also, as Rohit was pointing out, that there is a pattern, and because of the language and the, communal words that are used in these particular, statements and these things that have been on these particular walls. So it has been, said that left students are behind this particular activity. And also, we have been given to understand that the students from ABVP are now approaching the higher authorities to investigate the matter. And also, they are somewhere with the opinion that the academic space must be used for debate and discussion. And also,
absolutely. And let me take that to the ABVP president of the JNU, Rohit Kumar, who's back with us on the phone line. Rohit, before the audio line got cut, you were talking about how this is a pattern. Why do you say this? And can you put this in a timeline for us? When exactly did this latest incident happen? When did these graffitis come up?
Yes, they have been putting such obnoxious and they have been putting such ridiculous propaganda on both in JNU since 2014. Since 2015. When they put a poster abusing the Kashmir situation, like they organized this saying that Kashmir has no post offices. And after that, we see it in 2017, they put some other propaganda in School of Social Sciences building. And now we have seen this on the walls of professors, free-thinking professors. And they have also, once again, trying to intimidate Professor Vandana Mishra and Professor Pravesh Chaudhary, who is a Dalit. Now we can see the same pattern happening in School of International Studies building, where they're putting caste abuses and anti-India. They're trying to poison the university. Since the pressures have come right now, they are trying to show that they're in power, and they are showing their power in such a negative way. That this is just a sheer propaganda move by the left, which they have done in JNU, which we have witnessed in 2019 also, which we have witnessed in 2020 also, when they use the university spaces for their personal propaganda and personal politics.
Right. What is our demand now, Rohit? What is it that you're expecting the JNU authorities to do?
All the authorities from the lower level to the upper level, from the chairperson, right from the chairperson to the deans to the vice chancellor. We have asked them to remove this. We have asked them to identify the perpetrators. This has been done in union office, the student union office. This has been done in the classrooms. You see poisonous. You see you see film of revolution in film of changing society. You see also you see abusing the castes. You see several sorts of negative messages are displayed in JNU, which gives a bad impression to the students as well as to the outsiders. And we want the administration to take due cognizance, and we want the perpetrators to be booked, so that message goes that these things won't be.
Right. Right. Rohit Kumar, thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18 with your demands and your perspective, and Akash for getting us the latest input on that. For now, shifting focus to the big story that we're tracking here, and that is the G20 presidency, which has officially been taken over by India today. Prime Minister Modi delivered a strong message with the pitch of one earth, one family and one future this morning. He wrote an op-ed in several newspapers where he outlined what the vision was going to be for the next 1 year as India is at the helm of affairs of the G20 grouping. He said that India's agenda is going to be that of inclusiveness. It's going to be ambitious, action-oriented and decisive. Climate change and terror are going to be top priorities, is what the Prime Minister underlined. He further added that India's G20 presidency will work to promote a universal sense of unity in the post-COVID world. Now, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar got the ball rolling really. Today, he attended this event on the day one of India assuming presidency. He was connecting with universities across the country where he said that India is a mother of democracy. Its role at the helm will be consultative, collaborative and decisive. He said, bringing nations together will be a challenge as the world remains polarized, but India could be that bridge between several of these nations. He called for reforms at all international forums. He even said that India must become the voice of the global south.
G20 की अध्यक्षता का दायित्व इस पवित्र द्वीप बाली में ग्रहण कर रहे हैं। विश्व जियोपॉलिटिकल तनावों, आर्थिक मंदी, खाद्यान्न और ऊर्जा की बढ़ी हुई कीमतों और महामारी के दीर्घकालीन दुष्प्रभावों से एक साथ जूझ रहा है। भारत की G20 अध्यक्षता इंक्लूसिव, एम्बिशियस, डिसिसिव और एक्शन ओरिएंटेड होगी। नए विचारों की परिकल्पना के लिए और सामूहिक एक्शन को गति देने के लिए एक ग्लोबल प्राइम मूवर की तरह काम करे। भारत की G20 अध्यक्षता की थीम वन अर्थ, वन फैमिली, वन फ्यूचर में पूर्ण रूप से समाहित है।
Presidency offers an opportunity to share our story with others, particularly those who may transpose some of our experiences on their performance or challenges. And it is also a time when we must become the voice of the global south that is otherwise underrepresented in such forums. Countries of Asia, Africa, and Latin America trust India to speak up for them. It is also a tradition in the presidency, for the presidency, to flag concerns that are most immediate and seek support of the larger membership.
Former diplomat joins us on this broadcast. Dr. Swasti Rao, Associate Fellow at the Manohar Parrikar IDSA, also with us, and Strategic Affairs Expert, Professor Brahma Chalani, also with me. Ashok Sajjanar, I'd like to get you started on this, and it's about the message that the External Affairs Minister gave today. He said, this time is ours. Time is now on our side, and it is really for India to shine. It is India's moment on a global platform. He also spoke about how the G20 that recently concluded in Bali, he said it was very difficult to get different countries even in one room. But India is going to be that bridge between the Western world and the other economies, sort of a glue to keep the world together. That's really the message that India's G20 presidency is going to send.
Absolutely, you're very right when you say this, because you know what the External Affairs Minister said, that it was difficult to get all the countries in the same room. We saw that Mr. Putin did not attend, did not participate in person. It was his foreign minister who was participating. So we were not really able to get all the 19 plus European Union heads of state government in one room. But India enjoys that outreach with all countries, whether it is with the West, also with Russia. And so I think India can be hopeful that it will be able to bridge the gap. And our focus is going to be not to pay so much attention to the political issues which divide the different countries, but to have areas where we can work together, because G20 is basically an economic forum. So I think if we are going to focus on the economic issues, the economic challenges, and also what the External Affairs Minister said and what the Prime Minister has also mentioned, that in areas which India has done very well, notwithstanding the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as the Russia-Ukraine conflict, I think India has emerged relatively unscathed and in a much better position, because the manner in which we have been able to employ digitization in terms of governance, in terms of extension of services, whether it is for vaccination or otherwise, so or for the economic recovery, I think that has definitely, can be an example for a large number of other countries. Also, he mentioned that India will be a voice of the global South, because I think this is the message that he had got when he visited New York for the UNGA in September. He met about 50, 60 of the foreign ministers of developing countries from Africa, Asia, Latin America. And all of them, I think the point that they made was that the decisions taken by institutions, by organizations like G20, have a huge impact on their own well-being and livelihood.
Right.
But their voice is not heard. So I think outreach countries that we have invited, most of them are developing, like Bangladesh, like Mauritius, like Egypt,
Right.
so that they also get a platform, and India is able to, of course, voice the concerns and interests and aspirations of the developing countries.
Absolutely. And you speak of how, India has been like the pioneer, especially as far as COVID-19 and the fight back is concerned. That's also something that S. Jaishankar spoke of today, Professor Brahmachalani. He said that India is setting an example, and that is increasingly relevant to several others across the world, because we saw, especially as far as COVID-19 and the fight back is concerned. Before I get you in, let's just cut across to the press conference that is being held by the Ministry of External Affairs.
Some of them have already taken place. As you know, earlier in the day, we had a special University Connect event, which virtually brought together students from 75 universities across the country. External Affairs Ministers, as well as Principal Secretary Prime Minister, were among the distinguished speakers. The interest of student actually bodes well for our efforts at engaging the youth in G20 activities. We are also involving school students through special G20 sessions in various schools. Taking this people's participation concept further, today the Hornbill Festival in Kohima features a special focus on the G20. We will try to do that with some other festivals as we go along. 100 monuments, including some UNESCO World Heritage Sites, are being specially illuminated today. And citizens have been invited to join a selfie campaign that is being run by MyGov around those illuminated monuments. I wanted to stress that we want a whole of government, whole of India approach, and you will see various parts of the government, particularly coordinated by the G20 Secretariat, trying to take forward the now numerous events that we have planned across till next September and beyond as our presidency unfolds. So please follow the latest developments on the G20 social media accounts. All of them are now active. I think Twitter, Facebook, Insta, Coup. The website, which is again now with India, G20 Secretariat, as well as a special app that has been launched. And we should be able to bring you events as we move forward. Moving on, the second announcement I had was on the visit of the Federal Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Federal Republic of Germany to India. Her Excellency Ms. Annalena Baerbock, Federal Minister, will pay an official visit to India from 5th to 6th December. During her stay in Delhi, she will be hosted by External Affairs Minister for bilateral talks on 5th December. They will, of course, hold discussions on bilateral issues as well as regional and global issues of mutual interest. As strategic partners, India and Germany have had a long-standing relationship underpinned by common values and shared goals. In fact, in 2021, we commemorated 70 years of the establishment of diplomatic relations. This year, we have had several high-level engagements between the two countries, including Prime Minister's visit to Berlin for the 6th India-Germany intergovernmental consultations. And then subsequently, Prime Minister again went to Germany, to Schloss Elmau for partner country of the G7 meeting at the invitation of Chancellor Scholz. So we look forward to the visit of Foreign Minister of Germany. Coming back to important days, today also we assumed the chairmanship of the Wassenaar arrangement. Actually, the formal assumption will be from the 1st of January for a period of 1 year. But today, at the 26th annual plenary of the Wassenaar arrangement, which was being held in Vienna, Ambassador of Ireland handed over the chairmanship to our ambassador and permanent representative to the UN, Sri Jaideep Mazumdar, who is based in Vienna. We joined the Wassenaar arrangement on 8th December 2017 as its 42nd participating state. As you know, Wassenaar arrangement is a multilateral export control regime, which through regular information exchange among members on various issues like transfer of conventional arms, dual-use goods, technologies, seeks to promote transparency and greater responsibility in such transfer and prevent destabilizing accumulations. It operates on the basis of consensus, and as incoming chair of the Wassenaar arrangement, India remains ready and committed to work in close cooperation with other members of this grouping to contribute to regional international security and stability. So this is something positive development again. And finally, India also assumes the presidency of the United Nations Security Council today for the month of December. This is the second time during our 2-year tenure that we as an elected member, we have taken over this presidency. Last time was last year, August 2021. We have a couple of high-level events coming up.
Shifting focus now to Gujarat, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi is leading the longest ever roadshow that he has undertaken in the country. This is a 50-kilometer roadshow that is taking place. This is in Himmatnagar in Gujarat. Campaigning is in a fever pitch mode as far as phase 2 is concerned. Phase 1 voting is still underway as we speak. Polls close at 6 p.m. But the December 5th poll is also going to be extremely decisive for all parties, for all stakeholders, especially for the son of the soil, Narendra Modi, who returns to Gujarat for a record-setting return for his saffron party. Remember, they've been in power for 27 straight years in the state. And that's Prime Minister Modi there, waving to the people who've been queuing up on the side of roads to catch a glimpse of him as he undertakes this massive roadshow. It's a 3-hour-long roadshow that is planned. 50 kilometers is how long the Prime Minister's cavalcade is going to travel for. And it's quite historic. Prime Minister always likes to connect with the people when he is on ground, especially as far as Gujarat is concerned. It is his connect. It is where his political career began from. He was the longest serving Chief Minister of Gujarat. And then he was sent to Delhi by the people of Gujarat as the Prime Minister, as he says every time he's been campaigning in the state there.
शुरुआत हो गई और ये अपने आप में आज तक का सबसे बड़ा मेगा रोड शो होने जा रहा है, क्योंकि प्रधानमंत्री की कार्यशैली को जो लोग करीब से जानते हैं, जिसको आपने भी कई बार अशोक जी जिक्र किया है कि वो हमेशा बड़ा करने की बात करते हैं और उसमें विश्वास करते हैं, और शायद इतना बड़ा रोड शो करने का मादा भी उन जैसे ही राजनीतिक शख्सियत की काबिलियत है, शायद जिस वजह से उन्होंने इतना बड़ा रोड शो के लिए वो निकले हैं।
Political editor Maria Shakil is with us on the phone line. And Maria, this is a mega outreach by the Prime Minister ahead of phase 2. 13 assembly constituencies across Ahmedabad are going to be covered in this 50-kilometer roadshow.
Yes, and it's one of its kind roadshow where we are seeing those visuals come in. And this is what we see in this party, Poonam. That imagine an election, this is not even being seen as a contest. It's about ensuring that the BJP returns to power with a bigger number. The Prime Minister is going all out to have this kind of connect in his home state of Gujarat. And this roadshow he'll be also addressing public meetings, which he has already done. And all these constituencies, Poonam, go to polls on December 5th, which is the second phase. Today, the polling for the first phase in 89 constituencies, which come in Kutch and South Gujarat and the Saurashtra region, have come to an end. These, constituencies are the constituencies where the Prime Minister has spent a lot of time in the past, and also this is the last leg, or as we say, slog overs in the battle for Gujarat. But that connect that the Prime Minister has with the people of Gujarat is evident. There's nothing that has to be left to chance. And 16 assembly constituencies will be covered in this one. He has started from Naroda Gam, and he will be ending it at Gandhinagar South constituency. And he'll be making around 35 stops, is what we are being told by the party sources. One will be at the memorial of prominent personalities, multiple personalities, including Sardar Patel, Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose on his way. But the larger message, as we have been saying, is about all hands on deck. The Prime Minister has served as the longest serving Chief Minister of Gujarat from 2001 till 2014, till the time he became the Prime Minister. And in 2002 was when the BJP got its highest number of 127 seats. The BJP is hoping to better its tally. They are hoping that they would be, improving the tally, or perhaps bettering the tally of what was of the Congress of 1985. That is the reason why we are seeing, BJP go all out. It's an election which has to be fought with a bigger number. That is the reason why we are seeing the kind of booth management that we have seen even today, Poonam, at play, where the Panna Pramukhs the overall number of Panna Pramukhs have increased in the state of Gujarat. They have campaigned extensively in the tribal belt, because the tribal belt has always been a matter of concern for the BJP, the Banaskantha region, and those regions which are being seen as some kind of almost like captive vote bank of the Congress party. So no matter what, how much the Congress goes down in the state of Gujarat, their vote bank remains intact, about 35%. So what will be the scene this time around? That remains to be seen. But certainly, when you look at those visuals, it's that home connect that the Prime Minister has had with the state of Gujarat. And interestingly, Poonam, I'll make one observation as a political journalist who has tracked Mr. Modi for several years. In 2012, when he had famously won the state of Gujarat, he had spoken in Hindi. At that time, that was an indication of Prime Minister Modi as the Chief Minister of Gujarat, perhaps setting the tone and setting the stage for his larger national ambitions. Right now, in all his public meetings, Poonam, he has addressed the people of Gujarat in Gujarati, and you have translated those speeches, and we have cut to it live.
Absolutely. The messaging is quite clear there, and this is the final push by the BJP, by the Prime Minister himself, as far as these Gujarat elections go. And we've been speaking to the people on ground. Maria, you've done that yourself over the last couple of days while you've been there in Gujarat. And it's evident that the BJP has somehow managed to upturn the whole trend of anti-incumbency. That seems to not be existing there.
Yes. So, the new lexicon that the political analyst Poonam will have to look for on 8th of December is, how do you describe a state which has been won repeatedly with the Chief Minister face of the state changing. So 1 year ago, the BJP, in order to buck the anti-incumbency or handle the anti-incumbency, went for a complete government change in which the Chief Minister was changed, the entire cabinet was changed. So that was essentially to send the message that if there is any anti-incumbency, and also the party has changed a significant number of its MLAs, the old veterans in Vijay Rupani and Nitin Patel and all of them, days before the tickets were finalized, they opted out of the race. So messaging was that this is a new generation which has to be given an opportunity. That is the reason why we are seeing Harsh, who is the MLA and also the Minister of Home in the state of Gujarat. He is emerging as a prominent face who has the support of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah. So the Harsh Sanghvi is an important face. He's one of the youngest leaders of Gujarat Assembly even today. So the messaging of the BJP is that yes, they may have been in power for 27 years uninterrupted, but when it comes to the state of Gujarat, that remains closest to their heart because of the Prime Minister, and also the Gujarat model, which is a prominent model, a model of cooperatives also, which I saw in Ananda district, where the famous milk revolution started. All that is also being taught in other parts of India. So that carry forward message, it has to come from the state of Gujarat. And because it is the home state, that is the reason why we are seeing that that nothing is being left to chance by the BJP. One may say that, why this kind of push? That is the criticism that came from the Congress party, that the Prime Minister is so proactive that he is in each and every assembly constituency. So the BJP's response has been that no election is big or small. Every election has to be fought to be won. So that is what we are seeing on ground with the biggest mascot of the BJP, the biggest messenger and the communicator of the party on ground in Prime Minister Narendra Modi, effectively meeting people. It's a 3.5-hour long roadshow with around 35 stops, which has just begun in some time back and which will be continuing for the next 2.5 hours.
Absolutely, and looking at the crowds that have gathered there, it perhaps could be extended as well, given the kind of rousing reception that the Prime Minister has gotten. It was to start at 3:30. It just has begun about 2 hours late, and yet we have people there who've lined up the streets of Ahmedabad waiting to catch a glimpse of the Prime Minister. And the personal connect is something that the Prime Minister often speaks of, is also something that he and the BJP are extremely proud of, isn't it? It's not just about his home state of Gujarat, Maria. We've seen this in several other states where he has been campaigning.
Right, and campaigning for each and every election, assembly elections, of course, the parliamentary elections as well. And interestingly, Poonam, we have seen that in the state of Bihar. Look, when it was a campaign of 2020, when it was JDU, BJP combined, the JDU's overall tally went below 70. In fact, is 45, and the BJP strike rate was much better. So the messaging was that the people had faith in the BJP leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. They were upset and angry with the manner in which Nitish Kumar had handled the state of Bihar. Having said that, just look at what happened in Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand. Pushkar Dhami loses from the seat of Khatima, but the state is won by Prime Minister Narendra Modi for his party because he campaigned again very extensively in the state of Uttarakhand. Himachal Pradesh, Gujarat are going to poll together. The results will be out together on 8th of December. Again, Himachal is a state where the Prime Minister has worked as the General Secretary in charge of the BJP. So he was also making personal calls to those rebel leaders, trying to communicate to them what his plans are for them in future. So the messaging here is that every election has to be managed at the minutest level. When it comes to macro and micro planning, the BJP feels that even the Prime Minister can make those calls, and he has done that even this time around. See, that personal connect that we keep talking about is also displayed at the strategy level, Poonam. It is displayed at the level of candidate selection, where the candidates are, that entire survey that is then done in various constituencies is done at 3 or 4 levels. The Prime Minister has his own set. There is a set of, assessment that is done by the BJP president, another set that is done by the party in general, and also by Home Minister Amit Shah to ensure that when it has come to ticket distribution, it is about the voices of people which is heard from the ground rather than, some kind of arrangement that is seen usually in other political parties. What is it that the BJP is looking for as far as this election is concerned? The BJP wants to send a clear message that 2017 was perhaps an aberration. The Congress party failed to build on the momentum of 2017, where they managed to bring the BJP's overall tally down below 100 for the first time. And in bringing that, they could have built on that momentum because the Congress won 77 seats. Instead, the entire Congress party, got fizzled out in a way that 2 of those protesting leaders are now part of the BJP. In Hardik Patel, who was also the working president of the Congress party, and Hardik Patel is now contesting from Virangam constituency, which is part of Ahmedabad in Gujarat, which also saw Yogi Adityanath campaign just 2 days back. So that messaging that is coming from the Prime Minister is that even if they know that this election is pretty much decided, they do not want to send this message of complacency. That every phase has to be fought in a way that the people of Gujarat feel that the biggest leader of the BJP is there, campaigning, asking for their votes, requesting them to vote for them, sending a message that they should have faith in his leadership, sending a message that they should have faith in his governance model, and that is the reason why he is investing this personally in the state of Gujarat.
Absolutely. And in 2014, Maria, the term Modi magic was coined. We spoke of how that was what propelled the BJP to the kind of victory at the center that it did. Many said that that was on the wane as far as 2019 was concerned, but the BJP and the Prime Minister himself came out much stronger. They bettered their tally. And we've seen that Modi magic stay intact across different states, even in Gujarat now. That Modi magic has not gone anywhere since 2014 at the center and since much longer in the state of Gujarat.
Yes, 27 years, Poonam. An uninterrupted 27 years. And that Modi magic is such that, the reporters on the ground who were there at multiple polling booths, when they were speaking to the people of Gujarat and asking them what are the issues, they said there are no issues. That as far as their situation is concerned, their word was sab acha hai. So that sense of non-complaining Gujarat is evident. That sense that people of Gujarat have a great degree of satisfaction with the government is evident. And if the BJP returns to power with a bigger number, then certainly it will be only and only because of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. There is that netritva word or the leadership. There is also Sangathan, the BJP's strength in ensuring that all its efforts are put in the right way, that all the leaders are brought in. The kind of management that I'll just highlight, Poonam, we are seeing several leaders of various, chief ministers of the BJP campaign. Mr. Himanta Biswa Sarma was campaigning in the state of Gujarat. He was in Ahmedabad and in other parts. He was interacting with the community, which is the Assamese community who have, stayed in Gujarat and have become a part of the Gujarat success story. Similarly, Devendra Fadnavis was the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra was there yesterday in Ahmedabad. So he was interacting with the Marathi voters. So that is the kind of, man-to-man marking that the BJP does when it comes to its election management. That is the reason why we keep saying that 2014 onwards is a new BJP, and that was also because of the architect of the new BJP was Home Minister Amit Shah as the BJP president then. And thereafter, they went all out to send that message that the BJP is not a party of the Hindi belt, that it is not a political party which is limited to just a particular caste constituency of Baniya and Brahmins. That this is a party which has its biggest mascot in Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who comes from the OBC community. And right now, in 2022, as we look at the entire party and its entire change at the shift that we have seen, Poonam, it's a party of the OBCs, where the kind of representation that the OBC leadership has in the party is phenomenal. In terms of cabinet ministers' representation, the OBC numbers is far higher. The SC representation has gone up. So the messaging from the party is that this is an inclusive party, which is very different from what it was pre-2014. This is the Modi Shah party, which is the new BJP, which believes in having a booth management, a committee, or even a party office in each and every district of India, and is expanding its footprint in catchment areas, particularly in the state of Odisha. Who would have thought that the BJP would have done the way they performed in the state of Bengal? They are looking at Telangana as a possible catchment area going ahead. They are also looking at number of states down south.
Absolutely. Expansion of their footprint has been on the Prime Minister's mind ever since he has been at the helm of affairs at the centre since 2014, and the BJP has been planning and executing that to the T. Maria, do stay on with me. Political analyst Tanvi Pruthi joins us on this broadcast, senior editor of the Swaraj magazine, Tushar Gupta as well. And Tanvi Pruthi, if you are watching a television screen and if you're seeing the kind of visuals that we are bringing to our viewers, the roads of Ahmedabad are chock-a-block. Should this worry the Congress party?
I think the major two important questions in this particular election are, first, whether BJP will be able to cross Madhav Singh Solanki's Tally, who became chief minister in 1995 from Congress, and he won 149 seats. And the second question is that who will be party number 2 in Gujarat, whether it will be Congress or AAP. So clearly, Modi magic has worked, and the numbers are very, very. They really reflect BJP getting a good tally this time. But looking at the 89 seats where the voting is happening today, I would say that Congress secured 41% votes in 2017 last time, and it is very much present right now also. So I would not really say that AAP could manage to get numbers or even the kind of vote share that they're trying to project. But saying that last time, out of these 89 seats, BJP won 48 and Congress backed 38 seats. But unfortunately, due to no strong state leadership, 10 MLAs have either, sort of defected or extended support to BJP. But even without, much efforts from the national and state leadership, I would still say that Congress will manage a second position in the Gujarat elections.
Right, so there's still some hope for the Congress party. Tanvi Pruthi, Tushar Gupta, what is your opinion on that? Because many would say from what we are seeing right now, it is going to be an existential crisis for the Congress party that has until very recently been leading a very muted campaign in the state.
See, there are three facts that we know right away. One, the BJP is going hammer and tongs, as Maria elaborated from the ground. Two, the Congress is not putting up a fight at all. Number three, that the Aam Aadmi Party is trying to make some noise, trying to pitch themselves as a principal opposition. Now, if we take these three facts into consideration, there are some numbers we should dig into. 77 seats that Congress won in 2017. That was their best year, their best shot at winning Gujarat. Of those 77 seats, on those 77 seats, interestingly, BJP actually gained in terms of vote share compared to 2012 on 37 seats. If you talk about the total 77 seats, you talk about the seats with the winning margins. Congress had a winning margin of less than 10% on 49 of the 77 seats. And this is when they were putting up a brilliant fight, as many would say. And this is when BJP was at its worst in Gujarat. So 49 of the 77 seats were won with a victory margin of less than 10 percentage points. Now, today, when the Congress is not putting up a fight, where do you see these 49 seats going? Even if 30 of them, 60% of them were to fall, the BJP tally immediately touches 130 odd. That is very interesting. So what we are looking at in this election, more or less, is it going to be 120 or 140 for the BJP? And if it's going to be 140 plus, rest assured, Congress has been reduced to almost nothing in Gujarat. Aam Aadmi Party would want to emerge as the principal opposition in the state, as they have done in Delhi.
Right, and they're really hoping to do so, Tushar, isn't it? The Aam Aadmi Party is hoping to emerge as the alternative to the BJP, not just in Gujarat, but in other states on a national level as well. They're trying to edge out the Congress, and Gujarat would give them the perfect opportunity for that.
Absolutely. Look, I'm not very sure if they're trying to edge out the Congress, or perhaps the Congress is vacating that space for the Aam Aadmi Party in North India. But look at the Congress today. It's virtually absent in Gujarat. The Bharat Jodo Yatra, the much touted Bharat Jodo Yatra, all about democracy and the ethos of the Congress, refuses to go through two poll-bound states, Gujarat and Himachal. Rajasthan is not looking great for them with all the infighting. Uttar Pradesh are losing their deposits. Bihar, they are a liability for their coalition partners. So where is Gujarat and where is Congress in North India? Where are they in Punjab today? Nowhere, absolutely nowhere. Haryana, perhaps they have some presence. Delhi, they have lost their entire vote share. Himachal, they are again set to lose without putting up a credible fight. So my question is the Congress intentionally vacating the space for an alternate party or the regional parties in the north while keeping the focus on south? Is that their way to revive the UPA? Or it's just bad luck and bad leadership from the Congress?
Right, it's the leadership that is going to be in focus, and that's also in focus as far as the BJP is concerned. The Prime Minister has been dealing with state elections as well as the poster boy of the BJP, the star campaigner, especially when it comes to Gujarat. He is, of course, somebody who's been with the state. He has a special connection with the state, as he refers to himself as the son of the soil. And we see the kind of love and appreciation he gets on ground there from the people there. And that really is something that the BJP is banking on to not just come to power. For them, that's a given. They just want to better their tally from last time around. And Tanvi Pruthi, the Modi magic, as the term was coined in 2014, everyone said, especially the Congress, that this was going to win. This was a one-time charm. In 2019, that did not happen. Several other states that did not happen. It doesn't definitely look like it's happening in Gujarat.
I I agree with what Tushar just said, and he's very rightly said that in Gujarat, Congress should have put up more fight. Like best, since 1995, their best fight was in 2017, and they should have worked on it and probably, grown their people, their numbers, their vote share in 2022. Sadly, that hasn't happened, but I will still not say that the opposition space in Gujarat will go to Aam Aadmi Party or even Aam Aadmi Party, whether they will be able to, find that inroad in there. I'll give you one example. The vote bank, that the 41% vote share that they have won, the Congress has also maintained its around 30% vote share every time in the election. This time, with just the presence of Aam Aadmi Party, it's not going to hamper their vote share. And but I do agree with Tushar and you when you say that the kind of efforts that Prime Minister Modi has personally invested in Gujarat are commendable for pushing up their tally and setting the right records. I wish Congress had done the same with what they have got in 2007.
Is it time, Tushar, now that the BJP is anyway on a plan to expand its footprint, especially down south? Karnataka goes to elections next year. Telangana goes to elections next year. Is this going to propel them for that in the near future, and then of course 2024?
Absolutely. This is a precursor to 24. Look, the semi-finals of the 24 elections were fought in March 2022. The BJP came out shining, except Punjab, where they were not expected to win anyways, given the farmer protest and the entire repercussions around it. But where is the Congress? Down south also, you look at Tamil Nadu. That's one interesting state for 2024. Karnataka goes to polls in 23. So does Telangana. The momentum from Gujarat would be very, very important. The momentum that we're seeing right now on the ground, where the BJP is already suited to win. On the first phase of the polling itself, it's the momentum they've been carrying from Uttar Pradesh. Now, what they gain in Gujarat would be deployed in Karnataka and then to Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan later next year. And then to 2024. So in the elections, it's all about momentum. But what's really unfortunate is that today the Congress leadership is nowhere to be seen. 2017, they had enough to build upon. They had gained enough, but they are nowhere to be seen. So one needs to ask, what is the actual plan of the Congress? This cannot be simply a very election like strategy or some sort of a tactic to just sit out this election and wait for the next one. The Aam Aadmi Party is also looking at the next election, 27, 29. What they want from this election is for the people of Gujarat to look at them as an alternate to the Congress. The BJP, they would be looking to score 135 plus seats, and that would give them the momentum they really need going forward in 24.
Absolutely. And coming back to the BJP, let's talk about the BJP. Yes, we've spoken of the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress, but this really is the moment of the BJP and the Prime Minister, as we are seeing, because this is the longest ever roadshow that has ever been witnessed in this country. Over 3 hours, 50 long kilometers, and the Prime Minister is going to make an effort to stop at 35 locations, try and interact with the people, Tushar. That in itself speaks volumes about the kind of not just a politician that he is, but the kind of person that he is as well. It's Gujarat, it's his home state. He has advantage there, and yet we see him wanting to connect with the people on ground there.
On a lighter note, I would like to make a comment. If Prime Minister Modi tomorrow, in a hypothetical setup, said these are the 182 candidates I'm endorsing for the elections, these are the ones you have to vote for, the people would have disregarded the local dynamics and voted where the Prime Minister wants them to vote. That is the kind of hold the Prime Minister enjoys in Gujarat. And that's not something in theory. You go on the ground, you see it with people. Today, the Congress makes certain remarks. They call him, Ravan or whatnot. Then they called him Chaukidar Chor in 2019. Then Chaiwala in 2014. What all curses have been hurled at him by the Congress? The people of Gujarat have been the first ones to respond to that. Because for them, Prime Minister Modi and his success is a matter of personal pride. It's about the hold. This is a political hold the Prime Minister enjoys. And what we are seeing in the roadshow today is a reflection of that. The 140 number we are talking of today, it's not just, the Congress weakening or the Aam Aadmi Party not being able to make those inroads. It's about the hold the BJP has made in Gujarat for the last 25 years, led by one man, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and before 2014, Chief Minister Narendra Modi.
Absolutely. It's the hold, and not just the Prime Minister, Amit Shah as well, Tanvi Pruthi. It's actually, we've seen the kind of blitzkrieg that the BJP has been on. Several union ministers, several chief ministers of BJP ruled states have been in Gujarat campaigning for both of those phases. Amit Shah as well has been campaigning there in the state, and both Prime Minister Modi and the Union Home Minister have been talking of their connect with Gujarat, because for them it is to keep that connection alive, it is to extend that connection to future generations of Gujarat, and not just about this election victory, because for them that's a given.
I don't agree with this over here. Firstly, my point number one, we've seen that what Congress has done right in Himachal and Gujarat election is not to make a Congress, Modi versus Rahul debate. What the state leadership have effectively relied on the local issues, and they're trying that. On the other hand, if you look at BJP, they're playing their MasterCard to play the Modi magic, because Mr. Modi gets them the right numbers and they're rightfully doing it. But that clearly shows that they lack the state leadership and the state agenda to go out to the people and to appeal the people with that. So they are bringing out that emotional aspect, that people of Gujarat feel with Narendra Modi, or we have seen it in Himachal also. In Himachal also, Prime Minister Modi has, he campaigned so much. And BJP used him, for getting that votes, because clearly state leadership was not they were not adequate enough to get the time numbers for them. So, I think that the Congress has played right by not going into Gujarat and Himachal with the national leadership. They've given the free hand to the state leadership to make it a state election and rely on the state issues rather than, making it a Rahul versus Modi fight. That's my point number one. My point number two, I'll take 10 seconds more, that, Karnataka or other states, every state is very different. The issues in every state are completely different. In Karnataka, next year, I see a Congress in a very, very strong position, much better position than what BJP is today. And what happens in Gujarat will not have effect on Karnataka or on Himachal or on any other state. Even on 2024, I think with the Bharat Jodo Yatra, the messaging that the Congress is trying to do, just like, in 1990s, what Mr. Advani did with the Rath Yatra, I hope, that became a political mobilization for Bharatiya Janata Party, and that propelled its growth. So I really hope that what Mr. Gandhi is doing with the Bharat Jodo Yatra, it will help in the same kind of growth for the Congress party as well. And we'll see that in Karnataka and in other states, where Congress is in a better shape to give better numbers.
Sure. So other states, the Congress may have an opportunity. Gujarat, whether that happens or not, we don't know, because the kind of blitz that the Prime Minister has ensured, not just personally, but of all BJP leaders, senior ministers at the centre, chief ministers at BJP ruled states, and all of that will reap dividend when the votes are counted on the 8th of December. That is what the BJP believes. This is a roadshow of the Prime Minister that is going to go on for another 3 hours, and we here will keep a track of every little detail. Tushar Gupta and Tanvi Pruthi, thank you so much for joining us here on this broadcast with your perspective. A quick break, viewers. Back in just 2 minutes.
It was not Mr. Lapid's job, even as the head of the international jury, to hijack the occasion and the platform.
आपको तकलीफ एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव हेड कोई बना उससे है कि आपको तकलीफ की ये परिवारवाद का लेबल आप पर चिपक गया उससे है।
If there are enough and more issues that the Congress can raise as an opposition party in the state of Gujarat, then why is Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge talking about Ravan?
By saying vulgar propaganda, he's questioning the truth behind this movie. Will he deny the Holocaust? If he doesn't deny the Holocaust, then why should he deny the Kashmiri Hindu genocide?
Minister over his remarks.
Will you call him by the name of a terrorist? When a lecturer who's supposed to be the guiding light for any student calls a student of a particular community a militant, and the minister says it's okay.
The professor in question has been suspended by the Manipal University.
YSR Telangana party leader YS Sharmila, who was arrested on Tuesday after she tried driving to the residence of Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao. She got bail today. She's expected to meet Governor Tamilisai Soundararajan and express anguish at the way that she was treated. Sharmila's car was stowed away with her inside it when she refused to step out of the vehicle.
This only showcases
the tyranny in Telangana, the atrocities of the Chief Minister in Telangana. The people in the party of TRS are no more leaders or karyakartas, there are only gundas in the party. And the kind of crimes they commit is hideous.
The Indian Army is holding joint training exercises with the United States close to the China border, the line of actual control in Uttarakhand.
With the majestic mountains in the background, the troops train for unarmed combat. In this exercise, they are training to ferry casualties when all the road communication has been washed off. The joint exercise is held annually to exchange best practices, tactics, techniques and procedures between the armies of the two nations. Around 350 soldiers from each side are taking part in the drills around 100 kilometers from the line of actual control with China. China has already opposed the exercise, calling it an interference in the bilateral boundary issue and a violation of agreement between New Delhi and Beijing that no military drill will be held near the LAC.
A petition challenging the ban on Popular Front of India was dismissed by the Karnataka High Court. The petitioner had argued that the centre had failed to justify the ban and that it curbs fundamental rights of minorities. The centre had ordered the ban back in September under the anti-terror law UAPA after a series of countrywide raids. Tamil Nadu's ruling party, the DMK, has moved the Supreme Court against the Citizenship Amendment Act. DMK claims that CAA is anti-Tamil because it keeps out from its purview Tamil refugees who came to India from Sri Lanka, where they faced linguistic and religious persecution as they were predominantly Hindu. The party also branded the act as arbitrary as it relates to just 3 countries and is confined to just 6 religions. An avalanche was reported in Himachal Pradesh after a glacier broke away near a village in Lahore and Spiti Valley.
A huge blanket of snow was seen barreling down the valley into the village below. Within seconds, the entire area was in the grip of a massive snowstorm. Strong winds were witnessed in the valley, causing disruption to normal life. But thankfully, there were no reports of damage or casualties. The avalanche occurred after a glacier broke away near a village in the Lahore and Spiti valleys. An avalanche occurs due to the breaking of a thick layer of snow, which then slides down a steep slope. This comes at a time when heavy snowfall is occurring in Himachal Pradesh, which has caused road blockades. Last week, at least 72 roads across the state were blocked due to heavy snowfall, 61 of which were in Lahore and Spiti.
India's GDP growth for the July to September quarter slowed down to 6.3% compared to 8.4% for the same period last year. The GDP growth was dragged down mainly by the poor performance of manufacturing and mining sectors. Despite this, India remains the fastest growing major economy in the world right now. China remains on edge as anger grows against the government's zero-COVID policy.
In the city of Guangzhou, locals clashed with police over the country's strict COVID rules. Police in white hazmat suits clutched riot shields to protect themselves from debris and glass thrown at them by protesters. Other videos showed cops swooping down on protesters and dragging them away in handcuffs. The latest unrest follows a wave of unprecedented protests witnessed in China since the weekend. In cities like Shanghai and Beijing, residents took to the streets demanding an end to the strict COVID measures. Some also called for President Xi to step down. China is the only country which continues to have a strict zero-COVID policy. Local authorities clamp down on even small outbreaks with mass testing, quarantines and snap lockdowns.
Former Chinese President Jiang Zemin.
Welcome back. Cutting back across to Ahmedabad, where the Prime Minister is leading a massive roadshow, 3-hour-long roadshow over 50 kilometers. He's going to make pit stops at 35 locations and connect with the people on ground as campaigning for the second phase of elections in Gujarat is at a fever pitch. Siddhant, my colleague who's on ground there, is joining us now for more on this. And Siddhant, we saw the kind of sentiment that is there on ground, even during the phase 1 voting that just concluded, people there said that there are no issues. There has been work that has been done. We see the development, and it's the BJP's election to win.
Well, look, I'll be very honest with our viewers that it is just a formality. Formality because, it is very important for the senior leadership of a BJP to make sure that cadre comes on road, to activate the cadre, or for that matter, to make sure that people come out for voting. Because the kind of connect that Prime Minister enjoys with people of Gujarat, especially with people of Ahmedabad, is unprecedented. And we have never seen such level of fan following, love for any political personality in last decade, or in fact more than that. So Prime Minister is riding on that still riding on that popularity in the state of Gujarat, and being a son of a soil, it is just a formality for him to go between the people and wave at them. And people are excited to catch a glimpse of their beloved leader. Otherwise, wherever Prime Minister has campaigned, BJP is confident that they are going to sweep those seats. This time around, Prime Minister has planned a very unique roadshow, which is currently underway in Ahmedabad. And it is a 50 kilometers long roadshow, which is going to take almost 3 hours to get over. Now, Prime Minister is passing through all the constituencies of Ahmedabad and one constituency of Gandhinagar, and there the roadshow will end. He is going to cover all the constituency from Naroda Patia area, which has its own history of being communally sensitive, to the other constituency of Ahmedabad, and this roadshow is currently underway. Now, this is looking at this roadshow and the way crowd has turned, crowd has come for the Prime Minister's roadshow. It clearly establishes one thing, that the roadshow is just a formality. This because these are some election compulsions. Otherwise, the kind of popularity that Prime Minister is enjoying in the roadshow is unprecedented. One cannot believe that being in power for 27 years, there is not a single stance of anti-incumbency. This shows that still people of Gujarat show their faith and confidence in nobody else but Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And this is not what we are saying. This is what the crowd present there is speaking loudly. The visuals that we are playing out on our screens. Also, one thing is very important, that there are, especially the Aam Aadmi Party, they are trying to become the factor in Gujarat's politics. In fact, they are also contesting all the seats in Gujarat. They are also extensively campaigning. They are doing their road shows. They are doing everything. But what has really gone wrong for the Congress party and has gone in favor of the Bharatiya Janata Party is the 2 personal remarks that have been made by Mallikarjun Kharge on the Prime Minister. And you see that how BJP is milking it, because people of Gujarat, any